It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the NFC North. It's the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions, and it's all up next.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by last year's Super Bowl champion QB in his 14th NFL season now out of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on rips like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Stafford. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jalen Johnson blitzing from the secondary and picking up the sack. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Here's Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
And that's exactly what defense is talking about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a fourth down.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions will take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by the second overall pick out of BYU, now in his second season, and that's Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That ball caught by... And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
The Bears in good field position to start out first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And right side, they're going to go option here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On second and a couple. Stafford, open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Stafford. Again, that's Hurst. And the Bears are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Here we go now on first and goal. Now it's Stafford. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jerry Tillery running in there and setting him down. That's 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's out right at the 25.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw again is Wilson. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give up the middle to Akers. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Wilson to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll run for it with Akers. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Bears will get the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. Nowhere to go that time. Might have got a yard up to the 25.
Sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Stafford now to throw. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. They couldn't get anything going there out of the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Deontay Johnson, 48 yards. And the Lions have moved out in front. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And it's almost like one of your turkey ball games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 1st and 10, Stafford looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Stafford gets this one to Hill, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Stafford on first down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's Stafford. Flushed out and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit. And let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that is no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
And this is a commentary of today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they'll have time for 1 play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. And meanwhile, for the Lions, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. In the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Tackle there by Michael Pierce. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 30 on second down, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on third down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had them on the ropes there. Third down incompletion, fourth down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to first down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Going right back to Akers. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave it with a 3rd and about 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll run here with Akers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Cam Akers, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now McManus for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Cam Akers who capped it off with a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, he's been doing this for more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing is Stafford. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to get the football back at their own 17. So this defense, Charles, quite a performance. Now working on a shutout, but they have still yet to give up a touchdown as they come up with the interception there.
Well, we've seen this from them before because you can move the ball on through the middle of the field, but once you get into the red zone, that's where they really clamp down. They come up with the interception there, but you know about this crew. They're playing modern defense, taking care of the red zone, third downs, and getting after the quarterback.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's Kelsey on the ground. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Working with a 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. And no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's McKenzie. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll go again here with Akers. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
On the handoff, it's Akers. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now left side on the swing pass. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain. It's showtime, baby.
The Lions on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The kick by McManus is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And I call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw here on target to Hurst. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, that's complete to Cobb. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Stafford. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They snap it to Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. On the give, this is Akers. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers, but how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter. But 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.